In away, battling, having got in way of the attempted clearance. Jim Gannon. Oh, great flick on by Alan Armstrong.
Piece against Bradford, but here's Warburton!
Yes!
London trying to manufacture the shot, gets it away, it's there!
Not got it clear. Please, sir! It's a cracker!
Running Armstrong, played in the game, and a superb goal!
Tony did it! Stockport County are the champions of League Two.
Hello and welcome to the Wednesday show. As you can see, due to Russ getting injured in the warm-up, it's over to me. And yes, obviously, I still don't know how to do the buttons. So I am joined by Andy, as always, and we have Jamie joining us as well. We do have a fan guest, which we will get out shortly. It's his debut, so we'll go through his questions and stuff like that. But how are we both feeling? Andy, you okay?
Yeah, good. I'm fuming. I'm absolutely fuming. And that's nothing to do with the 77 minutes of last night's show, which we'll get into later. I'm fuming because about an hour ago, Mo Salah agreed to sign for me on a free transfer. I was paying him nearly £100,000 a week because I got County promoted to the Premiership. 3 days later in the game, he decides he's going to retire. I'm like, what? He was the perfect player for what the setup that I was going for the Prem. It's going to be a relegation fight, but I'm fuming. Apart from that, I'm all right. How is everyone?
Good. How are you? How are you, Jamie? Jamie, wake up! You're back in the room.
I'm all right. A bit tired after last night. Got back at 1 o'clock, so pretty tired.
Yeah, long drive down there. Long drive. So, people that are watching, you may notice I am in a new surroundings. This is my garden office, which will have a bar fitted into it at some point. So this is officially the County Lodge for those people that are watching. Those people that are listening, you need to watch to see where I'm sat. Does look like a bit of a garden shed. It's not very good with the camera. It makes it look like I feel as if I should have Gordon the Gopher sat next to me or something because it's.
Wacky, it looks like a venue that I'm going to be more invited to than my brother invites me around to his house. So.
Whoa.
You're closer.
To be fair, his roast dinners are on point, though, to be fair.
All right. Well, I need to get an invite to Andy's then for his roast dinners. So
shout out to Heather.
Do you know what? That's a great shout. You know, I might. Nobody needs to list this, but I might host like a Scarpagara War and guest thing at my house. Anyway, nobody wants to listen to that. That's no.
We are here to talk county. We're going to talk about Shalinor shopping at Iceland. We're also going to say 4 points, three goals in 2 games for the Icelandic man. We're also going to talk, obviously, about last night, talk about that ref, probably go into a lot of that. We'll talk about keepers, or if we have got a keeper problem. The last 2 games, sort of the first half, certainly against Blackpool and 77 minutes of last night, pretty poor performances. Is that a big worry for us? And obviously, we will ask for our getting the Rezzers. So that's basically what we're going to talk about tonight. Hopefully, we can talk about that with not having to press many buttons, because that'll be much better for me. But what we'll do, shall we get our fan guest out?
Let's do it.
Once I find... Where is it? He did have one. No, it's gone.
We begin.
Yeah, I'll just... Hiya, Jimmy. Sorry there was no intro. I've lost the buttons. Hello, Jimmy. How are we? Welcome to the podcast.
I'm good, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're all well?
Yes.
Really good. Thank you, mate. Really good.
Too bad. Not too bad. So we'll get straight into your questions, if I can remember them.
Loving that shirt, by the way. For the audio listeners, it's the 96-97 blue and white.
The dandruff kit, as it was also affectionately known, I think, by about 4 people.
I don't know anything about that, but it's a good kit.
We can see a blurred green shirt in the background.
That's definitely Hinchliffe.
I was going to say, is that a Hinchliffe shirt? Do you want to elaborate on it, or do you want to keep it a mystery?
Yeah, it is. It's Ben's shirt from the Notts County game last season when we won the title. So quite a lot of sentimental value on it. Come from Ben. He signed it. I think Ben Walker's head fell off when he found out that he was signing a shirt. You're ruining the shirt. You're taking the integrity of the shirt away. You shouldn't be doing that. So never mind. It's priceless to me. I'm not trying to sell it. It'll stay in a frame, and that'll be that. So yeah. Very good. Very good.
Nice.
So, do you remember your first game?
I do. I've had to look it up the date because I couldn't remember off the top of my head. 8th of March, 97, so not long off 28 years ago. Bury at home. I always thought it was a 0-0 for some reason, but we actually won 2-1. Much and Jeff have scored. Don't know why I thought it was a 0-0. I got sort of dragged along by a mate of mine from school, Andy, and his dad, Graham. They just trying to go into a football game. I was like, yeah, why not? And then that was it. 28
Was it a Saturday or was it a Friday?
I think it was a Saturday.
Saturday.
I'm sure it was a Saturday. I always remember it being Bury. I'm hoping it was definitely 90. It was a 97's part of the season, obviously with a shirt. So it was. I'm pretty certain it was Bury. Much and Jeff, as I think they scored the goals. But yeah, it was 28 years later, I'm still going. So they've clearly done well.
And what did you have for tea that night, Jimmy?
To be honest, mate, I probably had some British tapas of chicken dippers and chips with some beans. I probably reckon.
Nice. I only asked because I wasn't sure the reference why Waggy was asking Friday or Saturday. I just thought he was asking random questions. That's all.
Friday night or a Saturday, the game. That's what I was asking, Andy.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, see, keep up, little Waggy. Keep up, little Waggy. Jeez, man. So, what's your favourite ever game?
It flips. You could ask me, and I'll give you 2 different ones. There's loads, isn't there? There's some games we've done really badly in, which I've for some reason rather enjoyed.
You're one of them sadistic county fans, then.
Yeah. I think there's sort of 3, but I've had to sort of pick one. Again, it moves. Obviously, Notts County last year was incredible. A night will live long in the memory. But for me, I think Blackpool this year, someone's probably already mentioned it. It was just nuts. The whole day from start to finish was just a party. And yeah, it's up there. I remember being stood in the away end first half, turned to my mate who sat next to me asleep. That's what shots of Sambuca on the prom at 2 in the afternoon will do for you. But yeah, it's probably my favourite game. Just everything: performance, result, weather, drink. I had a bit of everything really. And
walk in there.
A little bit of walking.
Oh yeah.
Taxis.
These two walked there, didn't they? These two they walked to Blackpool. So
yeah, you did. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Your favourite ever goal? Again,
I've had to really scratch me head at this. There's been some crackers over the years. It's in your titles. Gleeson at Wickham, playoff semi-final. I think at the time that just felt like an absolute explosion of crap that we'd all been through for years and years. To tumbling down the leagues and whatnot, especially at the Championship. Obviously, people on the pitch and stuff. And I think I fell 2 or 3 rows as well when the goal went in. I think when the Sky camera behind the goal, I think the Sky camera was about 2 rows above my head. So that's pretty much my exact view of that goal. Just incredible. And then we thought that was the end to our bad years. And that didn't quite work out very well for us, did it? But yeah.
Brilliant. So then last one, your favourite ever player. You can have a past and a present.
Past, I can't. So there's so many heroes from like the late 90s for me. I was a little bit too young for Francis and Priest and and Beaumont and some of the others like that. I was a little bit too young. Flinney will always be up there. If I had to choose, say Luke Beckett. Just didn't look a great deal, but he knew where the back of the net was. That connection with Ali Gibb was just unreal for that time we had them both. And I think he's the first player who's ever gutted out who got proper serious injury. Sounds bad that, but you know what I mean. He was like really gutty when we lost him. And current, I don't really have one because I think we all grow out of favourite player phases and stuff like that. But again, if I had to sort of really choose, it probably would be Ben Hinchliffe. I think just in terms of what he's done and where he's come from. He came in as a lorry driver, part-time lorry driver, whatever it was, and went 3-4 leagues, professional footballer, just phenomenal. And he keeps getting better. I think obviously his days are going to come to an end in the next couple of years. But for me, what he's done and his longevity, Ben for me.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, good choices there. Good choices. So, shall we move on to last night?
No.
Right, okay. So, looking forward to Saturday. I mean, where do we start? The first 77 minutes were atrocious. Give us... What did you go, Jimmy, or did you watch it in a foreign country?
I didn't go, and I can neither confirm nor deny whether I watched it in a foreign country or not.
You're on holiday, weren't you, Jimmy? I remember you texting me last night from where were you again?
Lithuania. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got back early this morning. So I hope you had a nice flight. It was,
cracking cheap beer.
Yeah.
So what did we make of? We'll break it down into chunks. I think is the best way because there's so much to sort of talk about. What did you think about the performance? You can go for the overall performance, the first 77 minutes, the last 13 minutes. What did you make overall of the performance, Jimmy?
I think that's about as good as it gets for the first 70 odd. I don't know. It's just. So love Charlton and what he's done for us, but I have this. He has this thing where we try and match up against these sides that they're down there, they're struggling, they're scrapping, and we seem to think that we can match them and beat them playing like that. We can't. We just really struggle. Mansfield, Cambridge, Stevenage, Northampton. It's always the same teams that we struggle against, and it was just last night just slaps of it. I couldn't. Sometimes you can sort of see what we're trying to do, what our game plan is, but last night. I just really struggled to see what we were trying to do. It just didn't make any sense.
Well, did you go, Jamie?
I did, yeah.
How did it feel from the stands? Obviously,
it was a bit frustrating because you're going into the game. Well, I know it was just Blackpool, but a good response from the Cambridge game, and you're just thinking. Most players coming back fit and whatnot, and obviously, I know games not played on paper, but really, you would favour us out of the two teams to put on a performance. And I don't think they're scrapping for their lives, but they're at the wrong end of the table, and we're at the right end of the table, and it's not by sheer luck. We've got there because we deserve to be there.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was more just, I was more just disappointed rather than angry or frustrated. I mean, the referee was an absolute, I know you're going to go on that, but that was a disgrace.
Yeah.
An absolute disgrace. So really, you think, well, we've won 1-0, but just disappointed. Just didn't seem up for it. From the kickoff, they seem to work the high press really well. Is how I saw it. They kept making us turn the ball over, and I know they turned the ball over quite a lot as well. Don't get me wrong, but good teams don't really turn the ball over as much as we did last night, and I think they caused us those problems. So
yeah. What did you make of it, Andy?
Right, let's get straight into business, shall we? It was shocking. It was shocking. And I said from after 10, 15 minutes last night, I get what they were trying to do with route one, basically. It was trying to play off the shoulder, off that high line and get in behind. It didn't work from the go. So why, after 45, 50, 60, 65 minutes, are we still doing the exact same thing that hasn't worked from the start? I just don't get it at all. Now, this is all said a little bit lightly because everybody knows after the game, during the game, I'm like a rage waiting to happen. And when I can sing at the game, I can let all that rage out. But when I'm at home, not home because I was away yesterday watching it. When I'm not watching it at the game, I'm like furious. I am furious. I just kept saying it's not working. It's just not working at all. So we need to. It goes back to that whole interview with Challoner saying, yes, play the long ball. If we can get in behind, then do that. But if it's not working, the players need to be reactive within the game and change the method. But it just seemed like last night that they had like a script of what they were trying to do. And that's the only game plan that they were trying to do. They weren't reacting to it. It's not working. So it was shocking. It was shocking.
Yeah, totally agree. My wife was sat next to me while I was watching it, and all I kept shouting was second ball. Just we didn't win any second balls. The ball was turned over so many times. We were getting the ball and we were just like hitting aimlessly. There was all sorts of yeah. Do you think? I mean, I'd probably say Cambridge for me was a bad day at the office. That last night was rubbish. I think that was. Do you think that was that our worst performance? The first 77 minutes. Do you think that was our worst performance of the season?
I'd say so. I think Cambridge. You could see what we're trying to do. They just packed the midfield out, so they just took out Bate and Norwood straight away, which meant we had to go long. We created chances in that game in the first half. We created good chances in the second half, and even though we were absolutely dire, in my opinion, in that game, we still could have won that quite comfortably if we'd have.
I completely agree with that, Jimmy.
Last night, I mean that goal disallowed Cosgrove. I mean he's 6 foot odd. Hoskins is 5 foot something, 5 foot half, whatever. And any touch on him, he's going to throw himself to the floor. I just thought the decision making was poor. We didn't create anything. I think we only really created when Benno scored, and then we went on 2 or 3 chances after that, possibly 4. But in the first half, I was sat there like this. If you'd have just chucked me down from space and said one of these is 4th and one of these is near the bottom, I'd have completely gone right. Well, Northampton are clear at 4th, and I didn't think they were any good. I think their pass completion rate was something like less than 50% yesterday, which is bobbins, but they were still better than us, and that just sums up our night. If we don't score that goal last night, I do really fear for like Jamie coming home last night, because it wouldn't have been. I mean, I'm guessing it weren't great after a 1-1 draw, but I can't imagine what it'd be like losing to a side that have put in less than 50% pass completion rate.
Yeah. And I agree with Stuart Hope's comment that he's putting. I think we can forgive them for one terrible performance. I'm not having a go and like slagging them off. We have been brilliant this season. We're really, really good this season, but we are talking about last night's game, and we can forgive them for one, as long as it is only one terrible game.
But you say that, and it come no surprise that I am probably going to disagree with what you said, Stuart. It's your opinion, so that's fair enough. But it's not one bad performance, is it? If I said last night that it's actually worse than Cambridge, and I didn't think I'd ever say those words. The Cambridge game was terrible. The last night's game, up to 77 minutes, was even worse. It was shocking.
We still create chances.
However, we still
against Cambridge.
But as a performance, it was pretty poor, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think the difference between the two games is that. Sorry, Andy.
You're right.
I think we didn't seem to be in it until the back end of the game.
Yeah.
Whereas Cambridge, we were in and out of it.
Yeah.
There were moments, whereas the first 77 minutes, we weren't there at all. That's the frustrating thing. And what's more frustrating is that in the last, well, I can't remember what he said in the interview, but it was like, we've won 7 out of the last 9.
Yeah.
Right. And in those games, we have found ways of winning. Like the performance hasn't all been there. Let's put it out there, but we have shown signs of a really, really good team. And I didn't see any of that last night. Personally, I didn't. Just looked a bit disjointed all over the pitch a little bit, and I don't know. I might have been watching a different game, but that's how I saw it.
Yeah. Did you? I mean, I thought quite surprising because on 53 minutes he made 4 changes, didn't he?
Yep.
Which I thought, why has he not made them at half time? Why has he only waited 7 minutes to do it? But even then, we still didn't seem to click, did we? Did you see that, Jimmy? We didn't seem to change, did we? Until 77 minutes. Was that when Benno came on? 77 minutes.
Yeah, right towards the death, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd been on the pitch long when he scored. Yeah, I agree with Andy and Jamie. I think what Jamie's saying there, we have looked. Most games we've played recently, even against Cambridge, there was little tiny bits of that you can see. We are an half decent side. I've said for a long time though, I don't think we're a 90 minutes team. I think we're a moments team. We create more moments than most teams, and I think that's why we've been successful. But I can't remember the last time I've ever watched. Well, I can't remember the last time I've watched even a sort of 45 to 60 minutes where we've been consistently good. And then thought, blimey, we are a side here. We don't sustain pressure really well when sides are on the ropes. We give them easy outs, we give them easy fouls, and take the pressure off themselves. And I think that's really frustrating to watch when you had a side like a bit like like Northampton last night in the last 10 minutes. They were on the backsides, they were struggling, they couldn't really get out, and then a couple of cheap fouls later, they'd managed to put the ball in our box. In the last 4 minutes, all the injury time was spent us pretty much defending our box or around our box because we couldn't get out, and that's frustration really. I mean, it goes back to the mantra of Gannon, no fouls, and we seem to give away really cheap fouls a lot, and it's starting to cost us for me.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, first 77 minutes, not very good. A marked improvement the last 13 minutes. Did we think?
Yeah.
I mean, we were dross for the first 77 minutes, but I think we should have won it after the last 13 minutes. We peppered them, didn't we? Apart from, as you said, Jimmy, about like the 4 minutes of injury time, we just seemed to suddenly go, all right, we're taking a point here, and just totally took the foot off the gas again, didn't we? So,
well, I said last night that before 77 minutes, I would absolutely have snapped your hand off at a point. After the goal, I was disappointed we didn't win it.
Yeah.
How many shots did we have within that 13, 14 minutes? It was unbelievable. And that bait challenge, that chance, I thought I was screaming. I thought it was in. What did it look like from behind the goal, Jay?
Yeah, I thought it was going to rustle in the top of the net, to be honest. But to be fair, the keeper made a good few saves towards the end.
Yes, yeah.
So on another day, it would have gone in, but
it looked to me with the bait one. Sorry, Jamie.
No, go on, Jimmy.
It looked to me with the bait one. If he was right-footed, that's 2-1. It's the way he's had to sort of bend his body to get his left foot behind it. It was. If it'd been on the other side of the goal, it's 2-1. It's because it's literally he's had to take it on his stronger side, but naturally you'd want the ball to come across your path and then hit it. So.
Yeah,
I feel like it was taking an age for him to shoot it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that might just be because I was there and in real time, and obviously given all the emotions and the game going on, and you were 1-0 down. Now all of a sudden you could be taking 3 points. It was just, but like I said, on another day that could have gone in, and it just seemed to be kind of like the tone for the night when he saved that and how that kind of went about. But such is life. You move on, don't you?
So as you said, we had Benno came on 70 minutes, and as a football rundown, I said we offered nothing until Anderson came on with a bit of spark. Do we agree? Do you think he was the difference?
Yeah. I'll tell you why. Because I remember saying to Hannah and Mark that I think the first touch that he had when he came onto the pitch, and he had no right to do it. I don't know if anyone remembers it, but this ball just comes like flying in the air, and he does this touch with his chest. And I was just like, what on earth? And it was only a chest to someone, but
I think it was Callum. Was it Callum? I know Camps had gone off at that point. I didn't say so.
At that very moment, I was like, that's the best thing I've seen all game. It was just a chest down. But it was brilliant. He had no right to chest it the way he did. And don't forget, he's 19. He's just things like that. It's composure for me.
Yeah.
I think all the substitutions the first 4 anyway, they all made a difference for the first 5-10 minutes they came on, and then I think they just kind of got dragged into how we were playing for the previous however many minutes, because I think John Kieran said at one point as well, he said, they did make a difference, but then it's just gone back down. But there's a couple of moments before where Rydell went to cross it, but then he passed it. I just thought, there's about 3 or 4 players in the box. Just, you're on the pitch for your crossing, other stuff as well. But one of your best attributes as a player is how well you can cross a ball. Get that ball crossed in, but he backed out of it. I can't remember when it was, but I think it was just before we scored. But County 1883, absolute spot on. That cross from Rydell was brilliant.
Yeah.
It sort of reminded me of the ball he put in for the Bolton game at home. I think it was for Scott Quigley. Just put it on a 50p piece. It was, and I kind of feel a bit for Rydell, because I feel like he's not had much game time. He's had that long injury. He might just be trying to play it safe. I don't know when his contract's up. Is it at the end of this year? Or
no, I think
he's got a 3-year deal in the summer.
Yeah, I think he's signed. Yeah.
Oh, did he? Well, I don't know. It's certainly like one of his first games back, so he might just want to be playing it safe and not wanting to make any errors or cost us the game. You don't know, but that delivery was just phenomenal. But he's got that in him, so you think he should have been using that a little bit more.
Yeah. Would you play Torre or Rydell on Saturday, Jimmy? Let's start with you. What do you think? I mean, I think Rydell made a difference last night, because he came on and, as you say, he's got that cross in him. I feel from earlier on in the season, Ibby being one of our best players, now he's gone backwards. He looks backwards every time for the ball. What's your thoughts on Ibby, and would you start Rydell over him on Saturday, Jimmy?
I think I like Rydell's quality going forward. I think Ibby's a better defender. So I know straight away what Charlie will do. He'll go with Ibby on Saturday, because he'll want to try and counter Charlton's threat, because they are the team in form. Very similar to when we played Leyton Orient. We did quite well with that away from home, but they are banging form at the moment. That's going to be a tough game. If we even attempt to play like we did last night, we'll get turned over.
Yeah.
Wickham, Leyton Orient at home, it'll be that sort of game. And it can get a bit nasty in Edgeley Park when those performances happen. I think we've all been there. As good as our fans can be, we can also be bad as well. So hopefully it's not like that. Answer your question, I would personally go with Rydell if he's happy with a back 3 behind Rydell. And then it's whether Macca's fit on the other side, because if you're going to do it, you really need to flying up and down.
Yeah.
Which I think causes a problem when you've got, for example, Macca will go up the right-hand side, and then Ibby will sort of stay a bit further back, a bit more reserved. and it causes a problem. It's good defensively because he can then shuffle across into a back four if one of us gets caught up the pitch. And we don't really tend to play the same shape as Charlie said a few times. We're rather fluid, aren't we, in the way we play. We'll cycle through shapes during a game, which is, for me, a really good trait to have. But I think Rydell's crossing ability off both feet as well. He can come inside and he can deliver his right. I think the one Jamie's referring to, the Quiggle one, I'm pretty sure he cuts in and does it on it and puts it in on his right.
Yeah.
Same kind of ball, same sort of trajectory. And a nightmare to defend against. And I said I like Torre. This isn't to try and hang anyone out to dry, but every time we see him put a cross in, it's all sort of floated towards the back post. There's no pace on it. There's no variation. There's dead easy to defend against. And I think sides have identified that when Torre gets the ball, they'll just sit off and let him cross, and they'll pick it up in the middle.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Who would you pick, Andy?
I saw a comment, and apologies, I've forgotten who made the comment, but I think at the moment it just sums up how Torre's performances have dropped off for me.
Luke Chadwick, was it?
No, not the comment on here. I saw it on Twitter.
Okay, sorry.
Or X, is whatever it's called. At the moment, what Rydell does up at the top of the pitch outweighs what Ibi does at the back of the pitch. And for me, I'm his biggest fan at the moment, Torres. Well, not at the moment, but this season, I do still think it's probably one of the most improved, but I do think at the moment his games have gone... He's not at his best. He's not playing his best that we've seen him at the start of the season. So for me, I think play the three at the back, get that extra cover, and sort of have Rydell or Maka dropping in to make it a 4 when Charlton obviously press, if Maka starts or whoever is on that right-hand side. But at the moment, I'd probably start Rydell just because what you get from him at the top of the pitch outweighs the other side.
Yeah, that's fair
if that
enough.
Makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously the other, with Benno now scoring 3 goals in his last 2 games, would you start him? And if you're starting him, who are you dropping? Or do you think he's better as a impact sub?
Charlie keeps referring to him as not match fit. Keeps mentioning that, doesn't he? That he's a long way away from being fully fit. So no, if that's the case.
If he's not fit, then no, you don't start him. But there's a lot of people because he's come off the bench, hasn't he, for the last 2 games, and he's looked really good, and he's changed the game. You know, he changed the game against Blackpool, changed the game last night. So would you want to start him, Jimmy, if he's fit? If he was a fit player, would you start him? And if he's starting, who are you dropping?
If he's 100% fit, Waggy, of course you do, just based off what we've seen. But I agree with you. I don't think he is. I agree with Jamie. I don't know when the season in Iceland finished as well, because I think that's got some bearing on it. Because I think they finished about November time, did they? Maybe a bit earlier. So he's sort of almost a little bit in pre-season mode.
Yeah.
So we can't overload him. He's getting used to a new country. Straight away, you had the people on the Facebook comments on Saturday saying he scored 2 goals, he deserves to start. Get rid of lazy boy Wootton, and you just sort of put your hand over your head. You're thinking, Pete, just tell me you know nothing about football without telling me you know nothing about football. Saying Wootton, Carl Wootton is not lazy. And we saw last night a little bit with Cosgrove as well of what Wootton actually really gives us. It sticks with him. With Cosgrove, he's just like an headless chicken. That's not criticism. I don't want to criticise anyone on a public forum, but I think if he's 100% fit, start him. Who do I drop? Really, really tough question. I think I'd like to see a front 3 of him, Tanto and Wootton. Possibly move Collar back into midfield or give him a rest because he looks a bit knackered at the moment. And we finished with the 3 last night, and I think that's when a lot of our chances came because Northampton, I don't think they don't think they prepared to have those 3 on the pitch at the same time, and they just didn't cope with the threat they all provided.
Yeah, do you agree, Andy, or would you start Would you start Benno, or would you stay with what we've got and bring him on as impact?
Or as the bet advert says, a super sub. No, I wouldn't change it at the moment. Even if he was fully fit, it seems to be working. He's not that. He's quite quick, isn't he? He wants the ball. He's always wanting the ball. From just you've seen another 13 minutes yesterday. He's got really good feet. He's always in the right place at the right time. Someone else agreed with me that you want him on when the players are tired. He must be horrible to play against, fresh from the bench. So at the moment, whether it's fully fit or not, bring him on as a super sub when everyone else is starting to tire. If he was going to start, who would have dropped? I probably agree. Did you just say then, Jimmy, maybe rest Tanto? Just because he's had a few games.
Collar.
Sorry, apologies. That just goes to show I wasn't listening, wasn't it?
Some co-host you are.
Well, it's hard, this second chair. I like being where Jimmy's sat. I could just turn up, rock up, and yeah. But yeah, who'd you drop? I don't know. I don't think we should start him anyway at the moment.
Yeah, he's only an emerging talent, isn't he?
Yeah, right.
But just from the short time that we've seen of him, though, he's got such a high football IQ. I get the feeling as a striker, you can be really tempted to go out of position or wander off and stuff like that. And you can be over keen and stuff like that because obviously he wants to make his mark. He wants to show his worth, basically. And I just think everything he decides to do in and out of possession, it's just perfect, in my opinion. I just think he's not wandering off. He's wanting the ball, don't get me wrong, he's wanting the ball quite a lot, but he's not just for the sake of it. Do you know what I mean? He's picking his moments, choosing his moments wisely, and he's getting himself into really good positions, and hence the three that he's found his goals.
Yeah, it was a cracking cross and a cracking header last night.
Unbelievable header.
Yeah,
it was even better in real life. It
was much better in HD.
I said to a mate man this morning, I said, sometimes you'll put a ball in the box and you'll think, right, that's a chance. The way that ball went in and the fact he was sandwiched between two centre halves, I thought, it's not even a half chance this. He's not going to get it. And next thing you know, not only has he got it, the direction on it was just unreal.
Yeah.
It's funny that, Jimmy, that you said about direction. The more times I've looked over the second goal, his header against Blackpool, what a header that was!
Yeah, I think it went under the radar, that header. Again, he didn't really leave the floor, but it was like a penalty. It was like a penalty header. Do you know, like a perfect penalty when you slot it right in the side netting? Yeah. Before it hits. When you see Camps's cross, there wasn't a load of pace on it. He sort of just dinked it out because he got to the byline and he generated power out of his neck. I think he's going to be a massive player for us, and I think saying there, Waggy, about I think he was signed for the development program, emerging talent. Yeah, and I think as Charlie said, they actually looked at him in training and thought, oh hello, this guy's actually better. But he's also, did he go to Bologna as well? I think was it Bologna?
I think he was. Yeah, he had a season there, didn't he? So, yeah,
but he's not this sort of kid that a lot of people think, and to be fair, I'll even say, he's not this kid that's never left Iceland before, and it's he has been around a little bit. He's probably a lot more mature than 19 years old, but yeah, a long way to continue, because let's face it, if he carries on doing this, he'll be absolutely adored here, and he will make us some serious money in the future.
You look at him as well, and you really hope he does well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love every county player to go on, Andy.
Go on, carry on.
No, I was just saying, you want every player that steps in a county shirt to do well, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But a bit more about him. There's something a little bit more where you're thinking, I really want this kid to be a success. Yeah.
Do you know what else as well? When you notice that these emerging talent lads come on. They're obviously learning the trade, aren't they? And then they haven't booked out yet. Whereas Anderson looks like he's already done work at the gym. He doesn't look like an emergent talent, does he? He looks like he's a player that we've had in the rank. Look like Ethan Pye. But Pye is obviously still such a young lad.
Yeah,
but he's booked out, and it's the same with Anderson as well. I don't know if it's a compliment from the Oud, but he is saying that I sound like Southgate literally in sound, or he's saying that I have zero tactical knowledge like Southgate. One of them's true. I'm not sure. I'll take it either way. I know I don't bring tactical stuff when it comes to this.
I think Stuart Hope makes a good point. Where he says DC has said he's the most natural finisher at the club. I think it's that one, and the Oud. I quite like this. Where's he gone? This one. He has to start. He's doing the business. Why would you start with a water pistol, then bring on a machine gun? I like that comment. Very good.
That is brilliant.
That is really good, to be fair.
I just don't think he's got.
When you put it like that.
You look gassed to me on Saturday right towards the end. I mean, he'd been, 30 odd minutes by the time he scored those 2 goals. But towards the end, I think he was struggling. So I think starting is probably the wrong. I think Andy's turned it right. If you're 60 minutes, 65 minutes into it, he's still. The benefit for us at the minute is he's still really much of an unknown quantity as well. Teams can't really scout him because of how little minutes he's getting. And he's doing the business when he's getting on the pitch. So for me, I think he's going to be a super sub for us for the rest of this season. Bit like what Solskjaer was at United. Just come on, bang a few goals in, and he's loved. But when he starts, doesn't quite have the same effect. But yeah, I think that's something that I think we're obviously all going to work at, and we're all going to hope that he becomes this 90-minute, just unbelievable striker.
Yeah, absolutely. So
there's a comment there that I think we should maybe ask Benno or Barry.
Too early to say.
Yeah, I mean,
well, right now, based on his age and his current record, he's still very, very young, and if he carries on at the trajectory that he's going to make us a lot of money. What's
the context of that question, though? Benno or Barry for what?
Oh, I'm just asking the question, Jimmy. You have to answer it.
As in, who's going to go further in the game? Or, I'd say at the minute, it's hard to say. Well, it's really hard, isn't it? I like Benno, the fact he's our player. So we're not sort of dancing around. Is he going to get recalled? Is he, he's our player, so we can dictate to a degree if he's going to be sold, how much we sell him for. Barry's one of the best players I've seen in a county shirt. So probably say Barry at the moment, but I love the fact that Benno's ours. And
I agree with that.
Him. Yeah.
And if I saw right last night, he kissed the badge.
I saw that. Yeah, clock that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
He loves it already, doesn't he? He absolutely loves it. And don't forget, I don't know how they contrast or compare whatever the Icelandic league that he was playing in to this one, but I should imagine. I don't know. Is this further up?
I think this is a higher level.
Oh, well, I would say so. Yeah, and also we're the club that's shown interest in giving him this opportunity. Why wouldn't he want to repay it by kissing the badge? And we've given him this Icelandic clap to make him feel at home, and that's hit off. And you just feel it's going to be like one of those player-fan dynamics again that we've been really lucky to have over the last couple of years. So,
did you hear the story over the weekend from Charlie Spencer about his dad? So his dad apparently was stuck in the bar drinking Guinness when he scored the first goal after coming on. So he comes running up the stairs, top of the Cheadle, and he's like, "Who scored the goal?" And he was like, "It was Benno." And he's like, "I can't believe I missed my son's first goal because I was drinking Guinness." And his dad then missed a second goal because he was in the toilet. So that was what Charlie said. It just made me laugh. Like, what a moment that is. You could see him at the end. I think his mum and dad was on the Cheadle, and the way they were sort of hugging and kissing him, it looked like family rather than just a couple of random county fans. It looked like family. It was a really nice moment, that. But it made me chuckle that his dad missed.
It'd have been great if he'd gone for whatever reason and he scored a hat-trick.
Superb. Excellent. So, unfortunately, we do have to talk about the referee.
Do you know what, Waggy? I'm going to sit and listen to the three of you talk about it.
Okay.
Because what? He doesn't deserve my energy. He doesn't deserve my chit chat. Honestly, that's it from me. I'm not saying anything about it.
Okay.
Do you know how podcasts work, Jay?
I know exactly how they work.
So, Andy, do you want to go first?
He was shit. I'm sorry. And I know we have people who... we hear the other side because we have fans and followers that are referees or what have you, connections to referees. But nobody can say he had a good game. Even JK and Liam said last night, we try not to be biased against the officials. But how hard was it last night? It was just... I've forgotten his name, the referee. But it was all about him. Just loads. That first half injury time, was it 3 minutes, I think, in the first half? It was all used up by the referee talking to players if the book. He was booking everything. He was so inconsistent with his making us go back to where the free kick needs to be taken to or the throw-in. But then when Northampton were taking a throw-in, just let them run halfway down the line with the ball in the hands and then throw it. And it was like, and that foul, I don't even know what goes through the referee's head and just doesn't think that's just a footballing incident. And in fairness, Hills won the ball. He won the ball.
Yeah.
So it was only because the player fell down afterwards that I don't understand it at all. And
no,
it's a red card. It's a red card if it's a foul.
If it's a free
even
kick,
a yellow card.
If
but
he's
the
given
fact
a free kick,
yes,
it's a yellow card or a red card, definitely.
God, I'm getting so pissed off hearing about this referee. Honestly,
sorry, Jamie.
It's infuriating. Honestly, the more I think about it, the more it pisses me off. It was an absolute disgrace.
It was absolutely disgrace. For me, it was that their player, he came round another player to try and go for the ball, and him and Hills just had eyes for the ball, and that was it. For him to take that long and to give it as a free kick was atrocious. Have you got anything else to add, Jimmy?
It was replayed quite a bit because he was down for about 4 minutes, wasn't he? So the 3 minutes injury time was nonsense and straight away. But I watched it back a few times, and I'd like to know, if I'm Brad Hills there, I'd like to know that as a centre back, how do I win in this situation? Because the ball's come in, he's planted his body, he's assessed the trajectory of that ball, and he knows what he's doing. He's clearing that header. The lad jumps into him, and the lad clearly, he's not stood next to him and jump into him. He's come some distance to jump into him. I'd argue it's a foul on Hills, or I would argue that. But you're right. If that's deemed a foul by Hills, then it's a yellow or red.
Yeah,
I'd say a red because it's violent. If he's gone, right, that's a free kick because that's a headbutt. It's violent conduct. So he's off the pitch, a 3-game ban. But I just think he's looked at the lad going down, felt sorry for him, realised he's refereeing a home game, and he has just shit his pants. And we're sort of left with, we've then got the free kick to defend, and we don't deal with it at all very well. So you can argue all day long it shouldn't have been a free kick, but we have a chance to then deal with it, and we don't. And yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah, I wasn't going to talk, but I'm going to. Honestly, it's an absolute joke for so many reasons. Right. You've got Hills and whoever his name is, completely irrelevant to me, going for a 50-50 header, and Hills wins that ball. It flings in a different direction. So obviously Hills has won that header, and then they've clashed. So if anything, you would think that was the foul on Hills. And again, whoever it is that it's fouled to, It's a red card.
Yeah.
It's an absolute red card. But there is no foul, so there's no red card. Right.
No.
Also, the sad thing is, here we're slating about the referee. There's 3 other people.
Yeah.
You've got a 4th official. Yeah. You've got 2 linesmen. And they're all connected through one of these. Right? So you're telling me 4 of those, high professional referees and officials has all come to the same agreement on that decision? That's the
4th official.
That's the worrying thing.
Absolutely nothing. And I've said this on a previous show. What they actually do is they're actually there to, I'm sure they pay just to stir it all up. I think he's the reason, the 4th official last night is the reason why Challoner got a yellow card. Why wouldn't you, as a manager? And what annoyed me, if you watch the footage, when Challoner was trying to explain why he's angry, the ref just kept butting in and letting him. That just made Challoner even madder.
And that just goes to show that it was all about the referee and nothing else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was all about the referee. All about the referee.
And
yes.
Also, whenever you've seen a situation like that, how often do you find that the situation is just resolved by just giving it to the defending team?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So take that situation. If a referee's just going to make a decision on a whim, it usually would tend to be the defensive point of view. If you get what I'm saying, they don't just give a free kick in dangerous territory.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the criticisms of the modern game, isn't it? That's the criticism of the modern game, that there's too many defensive free kicks. If in doubt, they go defensive rather than it spoiled any sort of attacking influence of the game. So, yeah, it was just I sat there scratching my head thinking, has he got this wrong? Or well, he got it wrong clearly, but is this a wind up, or are we going to get suddenly he's going to change his mind and go for a drop ball? Because ultimately, it's a drop ball. Realistically, it's not.
Yeah, it should have been a drop ball.
It was either a foul to us because Brad Hills won the header.
Yeah,
he made the header. Or it's a drop ball. It's not a free kick on the edge of our 18-yard box.
I think last night's game sums it up. And we spent 52 minutes talking about last night's game, when nothing happened for 77 minutes.
Well, no, there was a lot of shit refereeing, and a lot less than that. It just wasn't very good.
I suppose the next bit that we talk about leads into something else we were going to talk about anyway. And by the way, I'm just reading off the agenda here, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have a keeper problem? I'm asking you, Waggy. Nobody asks you questions when you host.
Oh, jeez. No, I'm not. I'm supposed to ask the questions.
Should we just get off, Jimmy?
We can crack on with this one.
No, I'll tell you what. No, I'll let. Do you want to answer this, Jamie, or do you want to stay out of this one?
No, I don't feel like I need to comment on that.
Okay, no, that's fine.
They're both great keepers in different aspects, but obviously one's injured and one's making a few errors.
For me, no, I don't think we've got a problem. As Jamie's just said, Ben and Corey have both got, different strengths, different weaknesses.
Yeah.
If we could amalgamate them together, then we'd have a world-class keeper. But then if we had a world-class keeper, we wouldn't be playing for Stockport County in League One.
Yeah,
of course he would, yeah. So at the end of the day, Ben's injured. Ben's injured for the rest of the season. So we've got a guy who's going to be in nets. He's not the flavour of the month for some people. Some people like him. Some people don't like him. And we've just said he's got his strengths. He's got his weaknesses. I feel as if he really should come off his line more. I think that's my biggest criticism for him. I think he's kept us in the Blackpool game. He kept us in the Cambridge game, didn't he? When he came on that was when he came on for Ben, wasn't it?
No, Wigan.
Sorry, yeah. Two world-class saves against Wigan, did well against Blackpool, but you say these I don't think we've got a keeper problem. We've got one main keeper. We've got, as Dave Challoner keeps saying, we've got 2 number ones, and currently our number one is Corey Adai. So there's no point. He's not Ben Hinchliffe. Simple as. So as soon as people actually get it into the head that he's not Ben Hinchliffe, that he is our current number one, then you should be fine. He makes good saves. He doesn't command his box. That's the biggest problem that he has. And
yeah, his distribution's is brilliant. I mean, I don't remember him kicking it forward. Well, I mean, to be fair, like I think a few times yesterday it went over, but that wasn't his fault. But his kicking's good. He's a good shot stopper. Just think, like you've just said, he for his height, he's got to use that to his advantage.
Yeah.
You have to use that. I mean, how many times have we seen it where we would be the team putting it in to a keeper of his size, and you're like, why are you playing it long? But then we've got that situation to our advantage, and you just he's not coming out. It's just it's a bit like as if like your analog's gone wrong on FIFA. on your pad, and your keeper won't come out.
I think for me,
go on, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
He's not Ben. We know that. However, we all know that in the next couple of years, we're probably going to see Ben taking a bit more backseat, potentially being a coach at the club, which is fine. He's been a fantastic servant for us. But we have to move on. We have to try and find that next Ben. And Corey Adai has got some pretty good qualities. I don't think his distribution is as good as people make out from what I've seen personally. He sometimes he's a little bit lackadaisical with the ball. It can invite a lot more pressure that you don't need. But Jamie's absolutely bang on. I think he's a decent shot stopper to a degree. However, he should be an absolute unit. He's a unit. He should be an absolute monster in that box. Teams should be scared of him. He's 6'6", 7". With his arms, he's probably going to add another 2 or 3 feet onto that. So he should be taking balls 10 feet up in the air, 9 feet up in the air. So he should be taking balls before anyone could even get anywhere near him. And I think that's my biggest criticism. He is, like you say, Waggy, he's rooted to his line. But I think that's something that you can coach into him. That's not you can't coach a goalkeeper who can't save shots into becoming a shot stopper. That's really hard. That's it. What works off instinct. You can coach the confidence to come off your line. I think defensively we look a bit scared when Adai's behind the defence. I think someone said the other day Ben's had quite a settled back 3, back 4 this season-ish. And Corey's had a bit of a change in back 3, back 4. But that shouldn't really matter because they train together. They're not like, they don't see each other once a week on a match day. They train together. So that should be something that should be ironed out. But I think there's something there with him. But I think it needs a lot of work. I don't think we've got a problem. We've just got a goalkeeper that's a little bit out of form, and he is probably not confident because there is still an element where people will get on his back. I will openly admit at times I have, because it's frustrating watching someone that size not command his box. But we all want what's best for the club, and we've all got to get behind him, because if we don't get behind him, we haven't got a cat and nails chance of going up. We've certainly got a chance of getting the playoffs. If we just start slagging him off as a unified fan base, we're done. We may as well just stop.
Yeah, I totally agree there. Obviously, keeper as well. The shot stopping is instincts. Absolutely 100%. And like you say, Jimmy, you can't teach that. So I think we move on now because we get behind him. He's our keeper for the foreseeable. And the other stuff that we feel that we're maybe complaining about, which is the not so great part of his game, he can learn and he will learn and he will get better. But I was going to make that point as well. He's never really had a set apart from the first 2 or 3 games. It wasn't the same team, was it? It was always he needs that continuity, doesn't he, of the same sort of back line that Ben's had, because Ben, the back line didn't change for ages when Ben was in there. So I think there's just a catalogue of things that's going on, but he can learn, he can teach, and he will get better. I
agree with everything that's just been said, and also with what Jimmy said about confidence. I think it's a confidence thing. Yeah. If he grows in confidence, and also you've got to remember Ben's 7th, 8th season. This guy's not even in a full first season, and Ben's obviously had that time to pretty much learn the club inside out, basically, because I just feel like the longer Corey's given opportunities and given a chance, I just think he can only go from strength to strength, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think we've got a play there.
Yeah, and for the audio listeners, if Jamie goes quiet, it's because he's shoving about 15 after eights down his mouth.
To be fair, yeah, I've done the respectful thing. I keep muting my cam. Me. No one wants to hear me munching, do they?
No.
No, that's true. So, anything else? Anybody wants? I think, we have Courier in nets, and we get behind him, and hopefully get his confidence up, and I think he'll be a much better player for it. That's basically, I think that's pretty much what we've all sort of said in a roundabout way.
We can give him a song, can't we? We should give him a song.
We've already got one.
Oh, do we? We should sing that song then.
Do you want to give us a rendition, Jamie?
I like it, I like it, I like it, I like it. Oh, here we go. Whoa. Super Coriadango.
Well, I like it, yeah.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Does it come on an album or?
It's just a 7-inch version.
Yeah, it's in.
What's the album cover? A box of After 8 Mints.
No, because he'd eat that. He'd be chomping on a CD.
Andy, you're my Getting Rezzers this week.
Well,
to be fair, I think I've been put in there by a lot of viewers every single week. So I've actually got a house on the Rezzers these days.
Yeah, there's no water left.
Thanks.
Speaking of getting the Rezzers, shall we do getting the Rezzers?
Should we do a quick prediction for Saturday?
No, you're all right. Oh, I'm joking.
Go on then, Andy. You can start. What's your prediction for Saturday?
My prediction for Saturday is we'll get a performance, but it'll be 2-1.
I'm guessing that's 2 County.
Yeah, yeah. When have I ever said against? We could lose 17 games in a row, 8-0. The next game, I would still back us to win a game.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Wootton and Anderson.
Oh, okay.
Andresen.
Andresen. Yeah,
it's not Anderson. Come on.
Can I call him Brecki or Benno or Benny or
Ready Breck?
That's it.
There we go. Jimmy, your prediction for Saturday.
See, Andy's just going to accuse me of nicking this one now. I think it's going to be really tight. I think really, really tight. I think we're going to go a goal down. But then we'll get that reaction that we usually get after a piss poor performance. So I'd say 2-1. Again, very similar to Saturday. Goal scorers, I don't know. I think it's time Ethan Pye got a home goal.
Oh.
Yes.
If you're watching, Ethan Pye, please, you need a home goal. And then I was going to go with Tanto because I think he's last few games, last night aside, he's been an absolute menace. You won't want to play against him. So Pye and Tanto for me. With a little cameo from Andresen.
Excellent. Jamie.
I think we're going to slump them 6-0 and they're going to get Breckied.
You've had too many after eights, mate.
Yeah.
That sugar's gone to your head.
Was an accent I told you that before? I need some of that.
Well, maybe you should have predicted 8-0 if he's eating after eights. So I'm going to go. I'm 3-1. I think we're going to win 3-1. We're going to have a performance, and we're going to show them who's boss, especially at home. Everybody will get behind us. We'll all get behind the team, should I say? And yeah, 3-1. Goals.
Does it matter which way we're shooting?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I agree.
I will play Russ. So yeah, if
we're always a better county shooting to the Cheadle.
If we're shooting towards the railway end to start with, and Cheadle end in the second half, then we'll win 3-1.
Yeah.
And if we're kicking towards the Cheadle end first, and then kicking towards the railway end in the second half, we're only going to be 2-1. And actually, Russ was right last week, wasn't he? Because it
right.
finished 2-1.
But that's because the team played well in the last 20 minutes. There's nothing to do. Right. I hope we shoot towards the railway in the second half. And I still think we'll win 2-1. And when we do, I'll happily take a pint from you and Russ, Waggy.
Whoa, hold on. It was Russ that said it.
Well, you're sat there in Russ's chair.
Oh, I've got so many getting the Rezzers.
Right. Well, let's do get in the Rezzers.
Get in the Rezzers.
Come on, get in Rezzers.
Get in Rezzers.
Get in Rezzers.
That's rubbish. Get in Rezzers.
I'm not having that. Get in Rezzers.
So, Andy, have you got your normal football, non-football one?
I don't have a football one this week. I can't think of one at all.
Okay.
So we'll ask Jimmy if
Have
you
you
want
got
first.
getting the Rezzers, Jimmy?
Yeah.
And we can't just say the referee from last night because I think we've already been double dipped.
Under that. No.
I think he's drowned.
Well, it might have already been done before, but Twitter, X, whatever you call it, Twitter or X's porn bots. You'll be there. You'll see some comments. You'll see a Charlie interview, and there'll be Betty there getting a beaver out, saying, "Oh, come look at my pictures."
Oh God!
I want to listen to Charlie. I don't want to look at you. That's my getting the Rezzers. There's also a few county fans as well, just out of interest, that do comment on those things that people think.
I'm so glad you've brought that up.
All of a sudden, you start seeing comments from random county fans saying, "I'd love to see your beaver, Betty," or whatever. Oh yeah, that's my getting Rezzers. It does me head in.
It's
brilliant.
betting, isn't it? It's a betting.
I'm just deleting my X account now. Sorry.
That might actually be one of the best getting Rezzers I've heard.
Yes, definitely. That's getting the Rezzers.
If only that could be the title of the pod.
Betty's beaver.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. I go. You have to mute me a second.
Andy's gone.
The scarf. The scarf.
No, Jay, let's just leave it there. We'll move on. But that is a quality getting the Rezzers, definitely. Yeah.
Thanks for letting me have that 1 minute of laughter, Andy. Cheers.
Jamie, what's your getting the Rezzers?
Couple people that slate people for eating after 8 before 8 o'clock. That's one. Andy can get in the Rezzers, and that referee from last night.
In fairness, I slated you after 8.
That's 3, but they're called after 8.
Right.
So why are you eating them before 8?
Couldn't care less what time I ate them, Waggy. Doesn't say. Does it say after 8? Does it say after 8 a.m. or after 8 p.m? It just says after 8.
Oh, good shout. That's a good shout.
Good point.
Anyway, I've not finished when we getting Rezzers. People that middle lane on the motorway.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I'm pretty sure that I I had a little rant about this a while ago, but yes, they can definitely get back in the Rezzers. There's absolutely no need for it. Especially, I'm guessing that it was driving home last night and there was no other traffic on the motorway.
So it's me, Waggy?
Yes, yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, I'm replying to
you. Right. Just every day that I drive, mate, it's just people that drive in the middle lane and there is nothing in sight. Do us a favour.
Yeah, move over.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's like a somber note, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? Because after yesterday's 77 minutes of awfulness, that my getting the Rezzers isn't football related either. You'd think there'd be more football related getting the Rezzers, wouldn't they? But
I think we've already put them all in the Rezzers by talking about last night's game.
Yeah, that's true.
Football cliches that can get in Rezzers.
Oh, I like them.
Well, that sort of my getting the Rezzers is the statement of, oh, they deserved it. Because I'm sure that the commentators last night said that they deserved the goal. No, they fucking didn't. They didn't deserve it. I don't think they were very good. I don't think they were decent. They got handed an absolute gift of a free kick and then had a deflection off the free kick to score the goal. How does that mean that they deserved it? So certain football cliches, like they deserved it because they were slightly the better team than an awful Stockport County from last night. It's just absolute crap.
Do you know, I've got a true story, Waggy and gents. That happened this morning. So I was a bit late for work and I quickly ran to the shop and just needed some bits for lunch. And I put my keys, that I've got my house keys and my car keys on together in the basket at the self-serve. And obviously done me packing and whatnot and stuff. Forgot that I'd left my keys in the basket. And obviously I'm quite pally with the guy behind the counter. He's a big Sheffield United fan. Goes all the games and whatnot, and we always chat football. I'm in there more than I am at home. It's just my getaway card. But I was talking to him about last night's game, and obviously there was a guy in the shop that must have been overhearing it. So obviously I've gone home, gone back, and as I'm going into the shop, the guy behind the counter was already wafting my keys at me, and he was like, "You'll never guess what's just happened." I was like, "What?" The guy that's handed in your keys was a Northampton Town fan.
Wow.
And he disagreed with your decision, which doesn't surprise me, but that's mad, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, of all the places, yeah. It's I do have a getting the Rezzers football related one. And it's other fans commenting on how poor we were on socials. So I saw a couple of comments last night saying we were by far the worst team they had ever seen. How are we fourth? Well, we're fourth because we are clearly not the worst team you've ever seen.
Apart
we're
from
a good side, and we have a couple of bad games. And what was the other one? Thanks for the 2 points. Wow. You know, you can
really. I'd not seen that one.
Thanks for the 2 points. I'm like, what? All right.
It only works that when you lose to somebody, doesn't it? That don't work in that context.
Yeah. No. Enjoy League Two, Northampton. Enjoy League Two. You're going back down there. They were awful.
That is, I mean, thanks for the 6 points. Yes, I can understand if we but I mean that realistically shows how shit they are. Is that they're impressed and they're happy that it's thanks for the 2 points.
I'm wrong. I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to get out and find it, but that was just like, thanks for the 2 points. Wow. Yeah. So that's just general socials, I think, is my getting the football Rezzers. And my other one, which was my main one, is the people that go to the supermarket and they put the shopping in a trolley, then they take the shopping back to the car, they unload the shopping out of the car into the boot and drive off. Just put the trolley back into the little pour wherever you got it from or back to where the front of the shop. Don't just leave it in the middle of the car park. It's just lazy.
Obviously, they're not put pounding.
Yeah, I've got another In't Rezzers, and mine's similar to Andy, but do you know people that take their trolleys back and don't just leave them? They can get In't Rezzers.
Huh? What, your counter?
Those after race have definitely gone to your head, Jamie.
No, so what Andy was pissed off at is
what you're going to do just to piss him off.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to finish my little rant. So yeah, one of the trolleys hit my car today because it was literally just rolling. And I saw the guy just basically dumped his shopping in his boot, got in his car, and drove off forward, and the trolleys were out rolling back as I'm sort of reversing, hit the car, and I'm just like, just put it back. Oh, I wouldn't mind, but there was a trolley port about 10 yards from where his car was. Just put the trolley back. It's just pure laziness. Thank you in advance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Andy Redding's been trolleyed.
And for everyone else, this is Jamie Redding's third and last appearance on this podcast.
Wow.
I'm joking, Jay. I'm joking. We'll see you next year.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Brilliant. So obviously, like, subscribe, do all that jazz. We've only got one like at the minute. That's not good. That's because I'm in charge. Normal.
Please, yeah, I'll help you, Waggy. And I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, please get on to Patreon. Obviously, we've got the Sean Connolly interview up there, which is absolutely superb. We've got others lined up. And if you are a patron, you will get priority invite to those type of things. We've got some others in line. So I think that's it. I can't think of any of the other administration stuff. I'm not used to this. So I think that's about it. Thank you very much, Jimmy. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Andy.
Welcome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. Cheers. Thank you all.
Ta-ra.